As always, Ted, kick us off. Who do you have as your winner of the week?
Well, I don't know if it's the winner of the week because it's been so long since we came on, but I think this move has a chance to be like a groundbreaker in the NFL. Russell Wilson to the Denver Broncos. I think that move is fantastic. Sucks for Seattle, but Denver, like he's going to instantly change that entire football team. Winning mentality. We've talked before about what it does to a locker room, and all of a sudden a team feels like they got a chance to go win a Super Bowl or compete. You're going to get so much more buy-in. Some of your draft picks that you've had offensively are going to click better. I think that move is awesome. And that division, buddy, it is brutal. And the quarterback play in that division is unreal. That's going to be awesome to watch.
We talked about this when Tom Brady signed with the Bucks, right? And people may not understand this, but with how many teams you and I both played for in the NFL, there is a completely different mentality inside a building when you have an elite quarterback. You just believe you can win. When you have a quarterback that sucks,
everyone's mercenary. It's every man for himself.
You are looking out for yourself. Like, hey, do my job. Like there's not the same energy in the building. And that matters. It matters a lot. And you're right, man. Denver, I was there when they had bad quarterbacks. And I mean, Trevor Siemian and Brock Osweiler, those guys were my boys. They're awesome guys. But you walked into the building and you're like, walking into the building in Denver with Russell Wilson being your quarterback, that makes the entire football team. It makes the entire coaching staff. It makes everyone involved, the equipment guys, the trainers, like it makes everyone believe. Do not underestimate the power of that.
Yep.
It makes a huge difference. It does.
You're going to get way better play at quarterback, but you're going to get way better play at every other position because the guys feel like they got a chance to go win something.
Yeah, it's going to be very similar. Now, I'm not saying that Denver's going to win the Super Bowl, but it's very similar to the effect, and you've heard players talk about it, like the effect that Tom Brady had in Tampa Bay, where it's like he walks in the door and all of a sudden it's like, baby, we got a chance. Like we got a chance.
Denver when Peyton Manning went there. Peyton could barely throw the ball 30 yards downfield, and they went and won a Super Bowl. It's big time. It's going to be hard, though. Oh, my God. The AFC is insane right now. It's like everyone is going to the AFC. It's crazy.
Yeah. All right. Who do you have as your loser of the week?
Maybe you have a different opinion on this. It's got to be the Kansas City Chiefs. Tyreek Hill. And I get it, like contract wise, maybe it was unreasonable, but I think he is such an interesting piece. There's no one else like you can't replace him. I think their offense is going to take a hit. I really do. I think it's going to be difficult for them to recreate kind of what they've had, and it's been a little bit tougher anyways, but when you take that piece out, he's such a safety valve for the way Patrick Mahomes plays, like either running under balls or the scramble drill, the way they use him in some different situations. I think it could be really difficult for them to recreate that.
No one in the NFL affects the way a defense has to play more than Tyreek Hill. Yep. I truly believe that. Like, his speed, like just even game planning for it, right? And all the ways that Andy Reid and Eric Bieniemy would move him around and utilize him, like, yeah, it's impossible to replace. But I know this. They got a really good front office. They've got a ton of draft picks. They're going to go get a couple wide receivers, whether it's the draft or maybe they trade for something. Like something's going to happen. They're going to make a move. Like they're not going to let Patrick Mahomes be Aaron Rodgers. Like he's going to have weapons. I know that. Now, they also believe that he elevates all the guys around him, right? But they want to keep him happy and they want to keep going to Super Bowls. You just lost your biggest offensive weapon. Now it's up to Andy Reid and that front office and Eric Bieniemy to not only get new guys, but get new guys and then get even more creative offensively.
Yeah, I was conflicted. I wanted to put Miami as the winner because I think like McDaniel and what he was doing with Deebo Samuel, I think there's a lot of carryover, and he's a different type of personality, different kind of guy. And I think he's going to get really creative with Tyreek Hill and do some really fun stuff with him.
Yeah, not only that, how happy is Tua?
I know.
So
all of a sudden, his wide receiver core looks a little bit different now, doesn't it?
Well, you've got two of the fastest guys in the league. I would love to watch Jalen Waddle and Tyreek Hill race. I'd probably pay to see that, honestly. But not only that, like sneaky low key signing, even though they gave him like $82 million or something, like Teron Armstead. I mean, that he's gonna be their left tackle. Like he's gonna protect Tua. So you've got this new coordinator, this innovative, like quirky guy, McDaniel coming in, and then you've got Jalen Waddle, you've got Tyreek Hill, and now you've got one of when healthy, the best offensive tackles in football. So it's a hell of a week for Tua.
Yep. No, I think Miami's. I'm really interested to see what McDaniel does there. He is so different.
He's goofy.
It's refreshing, man. You typically get kind of the same exact type of guy as head coach. It's nice to have a little different personality there.
Yeah. It's going to be funny watching him like fit in Miami. Like you see him and you don't exactly think Miami guy. So
no, think gamer. He looks like a gamer.
Like that guy plays a lot of Halo.
Right.
Do people still play Halo?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I think they just came out with the new game recently, didn't they?
I think so. Or was it like a movie that they came? I don't know.
Maybe that's right.
We sound old and stupid, but
yes.
It's been a long time,
Guilty.
which is accurate. So I'll stop there. All right. For my winner of the week, thought about going with Ferrari.
Okay.
Now, this is technically from last weekend, but like you said, it's been a while. Ted, Formula One is back, baby. We are back. And this is going to make you happy.
Okay.
Neither Lewis Hamilton nor Max Verstappen won the first race of the year.
Did they cancel the rest of the season? Is it over?
It is not. Ferrari, the Ferrari combo of Charles Leclerc, which, what a name, and Carlos Sainz finished 1-2 in the Bahrain Grand Prix.
Woo.
Now,
how about that?
1-2 for the fancy red car. Disappointing weekend for Red Bull. Verstappen did what he does. He pushed his car a little too hard, and then the car just kind of died on him. Sergio Perez, the other guy for Red Bull, looked like he, I don't know, like hit a banana peel from Mario Kart on the last lap on the first turn. It cost him a podium. It was actually kind of hilarious if you don't root for Red Bull. And then just a disastrous race for McLaren. So I know you love my Formula One updates. So just so you know, they're coming. And they changed a bunch of rules. The car's different now. Like, this could be more interesting. I think this is the year you get into it. It's on ESPN,
I love it,
man.
I love Ferrari. It's good to see them win. I just hope that the heads of Formula One don't kill those guys off for beating Verstappen. And Lewis Hamilton. So no, I'm excited about that. That's cool.
Yeah,
love it.
So we'll see if Ferrari can keep it rolling. But my winner of the week, Nico Iamaleava. And if you don't know who Nico Iamaleava is, he's a 5-star quarterback from California who has committed to the Tennessee Volunteers. It's a huge get for Josh Heupel. And just a reminder, when it comes to fundamentals and technique, Hype is known as one of the best QB developers out there. I mean, he is. But that's not exactly the sole reason that Iamaleava committed to USC. The Athletic put out a story last week about a 5-star recruit signing an agreement with a school's NIL collective that could pay him $8 million by the end of his junior year of college. Ooh. There's no doubt in my mind that article is about Nico Iamaleava.
How about that?
And with him being from California, Ted, he can get money right now with how the law works there. So supposedly he's getting like, I don't know if signing bonus is the proper term, but he's getting like $350K up front. And once he gets to Tennessee, he'll get monthly payouts that will add up more than $2 million a year. And all he has to do is what the collective tells him to do, and they control the use of his NIL. They can make other deals on his behalf. $8 million for Nico Iamaleava. Learn the name, people. Woohoo. Good week for old Nico. Congratulations, young man.
Wow.
Lot to digest.
Wow. Well, here's the thing. I think Hype's doing some really good things there. I like their chances to make some waves this year. Hendon Hooker's coming back. He had a really strong year last year. I think they're going to do some good things. That $8 million, if Tennessee can win the SEC during that kid's tenure, $8 million is chump change.
Worth every dollar.
Worth every dollar. Now, I will say that I hate every bit of it, and this is not what I envisioned with college football, but still, hey, this is what happens whenever you push it off. Don't give an inch on anything. You are barely a year in, not even a year in, and you have a kid signing at $8 million and getting $350,000 signing bonus when he's still in high school. So that's your fault, NCAA.
Yeah. I've got a lot of thoughts on this. My first thought is good for Josh Heupel.
Yeah.
It's got to be, in a weird way, like it's got to be cool. And once again, it's not associated with the university and the contract. You know, the Athletic in their article, they were able to look at the contract. It doesn't say anything about the University of Tennessee. It can't, right, with how things work. And I think technically the contract, like, he could still not go to Tennessee. Like, there's just a trust factor there, Woo. Which is, you know, that's an interesting thing as well. But a lot of people, when he got that job, they questioned whether or not Heupel could recruit at the SEC level. Like, he didn't exactly kill it on the recruiting trail at UCF. NIL is like, it's a huge thing for Heupel and that staff. I think, like, this just becomes part of their recruiting now. And if they've got boosters and donors that want to continue to give and give and give, and they want Tennessee football to be good and they're willing to pay for it to be good, like, that's a hell of a deal for Heupel.
Yep. Nope, it is. That's a huge fan base that I'm sure can pour a ton of money into that collective, and we'll see how long it lasts before any type of regulation happens. Maybe it doesn't, but take advantage of it while you can. And the real point is, if it ends up to equaling wins and championships, it'll be worth every penny.
Yeah. And I will say this, Nico Iamaleava, you talk about coming in with high expectations now. Like, everyone knows you're the $8 million man. You talk about playing with some pressure on you, like some pressure to perform at a high level. I mean, we just saw it happen on a smaller scale with Spencer Rattler, right? We just saw it with our own eyes. And that's a lot on a young kid, but we'll see, right? We'll see if he's built for it. I mean, you are worth what someone will pay you. So congrats to Nico, and congrats to him on setting the 5-star quarterback recruiting market, and congrats on creating a very bad situation for a lot of other schools. And it's going to be, I mean, can you imagine the other quarterbacks now? It's like, hey, I know
No,
that Nico's getting $8 million. Like, what are you going to do for me?
nothing. Give you a chance to win some games, develop, go play in the NFL if you're good enough. I'm not going to give you anything. Well, and this is again why I would suck as a coach. I'm not giving you anything, especially before you've ever played a snap. Right? But it's a different world. I'm an old man, Gabe. I'm an
I
old
can
man.
tell how much it bothers you. It's hilarious.
Well,
All right,
my only thing is I want the players to be able to have a piece of the pie. Like if you're selling a jersey, if people want their autograph, like that stuff, if you want to endorse, you want them to endorse a product, your car dealership, or do an appearance. Like I think all of that is totally fair game. But this is not like the intent of what this whole thing was set out to do. And it's, it's once again, it's going to kill the smaller schools and help the bigger ones.
Yeah. It is what it is. All right. For my loser of the week, thought about going with the New York Knicks because Trae Young owns them. He dropped 45 points in his first game at Madison Square Garden since he torched him in the playoffs last year. He's become a villain in New York City, and it's awesome. I love it.
No, it's funny. Listening to his interview after the game was really cool too.
It wasn't even that loud. It wasn't even that loud. That was awesome. I also thought about going with Kentucky softball.
Ooh, yeah.
Sold the place out and then got ruled by the number one team in the country. Let's go, Patty Gasso. That's what we do, ladies. I watched every pitch of that game.
I will say this though, the softball team left some collectibles there in the outfield for the Kentucky fans.
Yeah, well, I thought Jocelyn was going to break the damn scoreboard.
That was awesome.
Peppering that thing. But yeah, it was weird because the game felt close and then it was like, oh, it's over. It was a run rule after 6. I was like, oh, that's right. They destroyed them, even though like it was weird. Like it felt competitive, like because the other team actually had people on base. So I don't know. It was a weird feeling. It was like, oh, they just run ruled them after 6. I don't know. It was a weird.
Yeah, it's crazy. This team they're so stacked. It's ridiculous. So much power all the way through the lineup. Amazing.
I also thought about going with the laws of physics as my loser of the weekend. Did you see the video of Zion dunking?
I did.
What the hell's going on with that court?
It's like almost like a.
Is it like it's got give to it to like reduce impact on the joints, or is it the light playing tricks on my eyes?
No,
because
it's definitely not. It's definitely something with the court, and
it looks like he's denting the basketball court. That's what it looks like.
There's no doubt, because even when the video first starts and he's just walking, you can see it. I don't know. It looks like the floor that gymnasts do their floor routine on, like it's got bounce or something to it. I don't know. It's weird.
I will say this about the Pelicans. Maybe get him to lose the proper amount of weight to where he can just work out on the regular floor. I feel like you're enabling Zion, guys, by saying, hey, you can go run on the padded floor.
Hey, what if we built a $1 million padded floor that Zion can practice on? How about that? Maybe everyone will install. Maybe it's the future floor of the NBA, and we're just now finding out.
Maybe it could be it. I've seen rubber basketball courts before.
Yeah,
but I've never seen a floor bend like that.
It's weird because it's got to be just barely enough and like enough weight that has to be on it to engage it, or else you wouldn't really be able to bounce the ball very good, would you?
Yeah, that's one of those things. It's like I don't know. Like, is it just hey, we jump and dunk on this floor? Like, is that I've got questions. I've got questions and I want answers. But I
saw your tweet, and then I was like, I've watched that video probably 100 times in a row trying to figure it out.
it blew my mind. I was like, what is going on here? What is happening? But my loser of the week, and I hate to say it, Baker Mayfield. I mean, just been a rough few days for our guy Baker, right? Finds out the Browns are meeting with Deshaun Watson. Clearly didn't like that. Puts out a statement. Things start moving towards him asking for a trade at that point. Then it comes out that Watson wasn't going to Cleveland. Then Watson and his camp changed their mind, and they're going there. And then they're giving him $230 million guaranteed, even though no one knows how long the league is going to suspend him. So for Baker, it's like, okay, well, maybe the Colts make sense, right? Because that would make lots of sense after they traded Carson Wentz to the Commanders. Well, Indianapolis trades for Matt Ryan. So for Baker, maybe Atlanta makes some sense, right? They just traded Matt Ryan. Well, Marcus Mariota signs with Atlanta and reunites with Arthur Smith, who I was with both of them in Tennessee. Some people thought then for Baker, maybe the Saints made some sense. Saints re-signed Jameis Winston. So maybe the Panthers make sense. Well, reportedly, and this is the first time I've ever seen this term, mutual disinterest between Baker and the Panthers. So maybe Seattle makes sense. I mean, you go battle Drew Lock for the job. Detroit, you go battle Jared Goff for the job. Our buddy Dan Orlovsky said that the Bucs should trade for him. Now, that would be interesting, right? Learn from Brady. But I just don't think Tampa can make the numbers work with their cap situation and with Baker being scheduled to make almost $19 million next season. Like, there aren't 32 quarterbacks better than Baker Mayfield in the National Football League. There aren't. No. He should be a starter in the NFL. He's 1 year removed from playing some really solid football. He played injured last season. And, I mean, I think he showed a lot of toughness, but he hurt himself and his reputation in the process of playing through that pain with the shoulder. I just feel like how all of these dominoes have fallen. Like, man, it just seems like everything that could go wrong has gone wrong for him here and how this has all worked out in the NFL QB market. And, man, it's tough to see. Like, I don't know. I don't know how we got to this point, right? It was like just a year ago, we're talking about, can the Browns go to the Super Bowl? Like, can Baker take them there? Like, they got all the talent on the roster, and now he's at this point. Like, damn, things can change quickly in that league.
Really quickly. And, his contract is interesting. I feel like it's Houston, and one of the real problems is he has zero trade value. There's none. Because, I don't know exactly how his contract works. Like, I think that 18 is guaranteed, right? Like, that is, Cleveland's on the hook for it, even if they cut him, I believe.
Yeah. So they've come out, or I think Mary Kay Cabot put it out there, who has covered the Browns for a long, long time. I think Cleveland is making it known that, like, they have no intention of paying that. Right. So, yeah.
There's no trade value there. So it's going to be really difficult for someone to make that move, because they're not going to give up anything for a guy that, Cleveland they're going to release him at some point. I mean, they can't just say we're not going to pay it if no one wants to put a trade together for him. Like, they got to either pay him to have an $18 million backup, or you've got a, $45 million a year quarterback, or, that contract is a 1 year deal. So the reason I think it's Houston is because I think it's not a great draft year quarterback wise, or if there is someone that they like in the draft this year, you take Baker, you have a rookie sit behind, and then at some point take over if they're better than Baker.
Well, remember they had Davis Mills did some good things, but remember, new coach, new staff, like all those things. So I don't know, man. Houston would make sense. I
It
mean,
comes off the books after next year. He's an unrestricted free agent. I know that no one would say this, but it's like Houston is going to tank it. It's going to be another really bad year for Houston.
yeah, I hope he ends up in Seattle somehow because he's a better player than Drew Lock.
I agree. I like Seattle. I think there's some good pieces there. The problem for Baker, which it really doesn't matter, he'll go somewhere that's competitive like Seattle, is their offensive line is not good.
Hasn't been good for a long time.
That's why Russell Wilson wanted out of there.
Yeah. So I don't know, man. He's a starter in the NFL, but you just look at this situation, you're like, okay, how's he fit? Where's he go? I don't know. I was putting it all together and looking at the option. I was like, man, there just aren't many.
See, some people are not Seattle, but some people are saying Pittsburgh as well. Like they're in the need. You don't feel very confident someone's just going to take over that job, but I don't know. Didn't feel like a great fit, but
the Browns aren't trading him to the Steelers.
I wouldn't think so, but they're not going to have any. I wouldn't.
That would, oh my gosh. If they traded him to the Steelers and they played twice next season,
it'd be awesome.
That inject that content into my veins. But yeah, just man, things changed quickly for him. So it's
how crazy is it though that you got a guy that's got 22 sexual assault cases on him, civil. Okay. Grand jury didn't find enough evidence to where they feel like they could get a conviction. So a lot of people feel like he's totally exonerated. That's not the case at all. And he gets the biggest guaranteed contract ever. Like that's why he went from not being interested in Cleveland to being interested, as they said, let's guarantee the whole thing. Right. That's what changes everything.
It was an interesting gamble by Jimmy Haslam, the owner of the Browns. Interesting. That organization has made some interesting decisions over the years, so I'm not exactly shocked.
Yep, crazy.